Hey Joe, just a quick update here. I'm just sort of getting into the process on this Reddit watch. Just wanted to point out a few things while we're digging in, thinking about how to proceed on the movement here. A couple little things. I went ahead and took a close look at your hands, and they're pretty clean except for this little wiggle in your hour hand here. Everything else is really quite good. You have a little bit of a crinkle again in your second hand, your sweep, and I'll zoom in here so you can actually see this a little bit better. So this one had a wiggle. I kind of worked it out. I'm going to keep at it a little bit. I don't know if you can see the slight bend in that, but it's there. But that's okay. It's pretty shiny. I'm able to get it to reflect well, and I'm pretty happy with that. Other than that little tiny issue. So that's your second sweep. The only other issue, of course, is with your hour hand here, and you have this tiny little crinkle in the thin part next to the loom. Your minute hand, that came out really nice. I got that nice and clean without any scratching on it. I think it looks really good. And your GMT hand is in great shape. So those I'm going to leave alone for a bit and move on to some other things I want to point out. In particular, I don't know if you remember in my assessment, I said, boy, that's nice and tight, the rotation on that GMT ring. Overall, your GMT ring, I think, looks pretty good. Got one little burnish right here, just in the top over the 23-hour mark. You've got one little crackle right here between 4 and 5, and this one here between 18 and 19 in the blue. Seems the blue is a little susceptible to age. Overall, that's nice. Let's put that one aside too. Now, I said it was tight, and the reason it's tight is because of this. I know you have opinions about crystals on these watches, and I'm fine with doing whatever you would like me to do to make this right. However, this is not the right crystal for this watch. It has the right diameter, it pops in, but if you notice, let's see if I have another one here, a replacement. This is, of course, the replacement. Let's see what we got. Is this the right one? No, that's not the right one. Let's see if I can find a good one. This is a replacement style, not correct in terms of the profile. That's the profile you don't like. But it is correct in terms of the height, and that it has a tension ring, that beauty ring that goes around that gives you the nice reflection. So whoever worked on your watch in the past eliminated the old crystal and put in this crystal, which has a pretty good profile, but it's not the right height, and it doesn't have the crystal ring. So it's just incorrect. Now, this is a replacement. I know you don't like this edge here. This is a little bit sharper, of course, than the original. I tried to find an original, and to be honest, I looked pretty hard for domestic sources. It just doesn't exist. So that's where we are. So we need to have a talk about crystals for this particular watch as we move forward. Okay. Everything else, though, looks pretty good. You got some light scratches on the back of your case back, where some tooling marks, you know, from people getting the back off. Those are not terrible, but they're there. You know, your case looks pretty good overall. I would say you got good, you know, you don't have any corrosion here. The only thing I worry a little bit about if we're going to return this crystal that's too short is that without a tension ring, it's of course not under tension, so it just easily pops in, which means that water can get in if it wants to. The retaining ring doesn't really do much other than just lead to some cosmetic consistency. So you're not really watertight. Nothing is guaranteed watertight, of course, but this certainly isn't the right kind of crystal to do this job. It just pops in and out way too easy. So we're going to have to talk about the height of this crystal and what it means as we go forward. All right, so let's go ahead and take your dial off. Check your dates, make sure everything's consistent. Very nice. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We got 2.8 on the back of your dial, which is nice because you've got 2.9 on the back of your case. So this is a August 72 dial, and you have a September 72 case. So that's good. We got a match set here. So that's the original setup, which is nice to see. All right, so there's your movement. Looking good. Ready to come apart and get it in the cleaner. Here's your wave washer. Holds your 24-hour. Your other gears in place. Pretty good here. Go ahead and get your wheel off. It's nice and clean. It's a nice one. Let's actually work on your train side a little bit. Go ahead here. Get this torn down. serious. There we go. Okay. All right, so got a little bit of wear on the backside here. Through the brass a little bit. But I don't see any really corresponding hardware on your movement here, so it's interesting. Okay, so got an incorrect screw here. Got the wrong finish. That looks like a screw for your keyless works. That's a very, very incorrect screw for that spot. That screw has a machine screw style tall head, where these are a low profile machine screw style. Okay, well, we now know there are some issues with 1978 service. But that's all right. We'll get through it. Very interesting. Hope it has the same pitch. That will come back to you. We will replace that with a new correct screw. Excuse me. Okay. That one does not want to come out. Some gummy stuff there. It's whale oil. All right, here we go. Let's get started on your balance. Excuse all the noise, my dogs are quite noisy and they're in here with me. Yep, lots of noise. Okay. Balance is out. We'll have to take a very close look at all that, but I'm hopeful. Hope is good to have, but oftentimes can lead you down a road of pain and suffering, depending on how much hope you think you have. Okay, I just went other side of the world here. Had a little more power in the mainspring than I thought. Okay, let's go take your pallet bridge assembly. Take a close look at your pallet forks, jewels. looks like there's a line, but it may just be in some older, more crusty lubricant that's there, and we'll have to clean that up and take a very close look. That can be a bad spot sometimes. Okay, let's keep going. There we go. Click. Spring. Out of here. And go in there. Alright, let's take your train. Bridge off. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Woo! Got some lubricant coming out of your mainspring there. To check all your train of wheels here, make sure everybody's happy. There's your hacking lever. I'm gonna go in there. Ooh, sticky. Okay. Yikes. Whew, dirty. And pretty worn. All right, well, that's why we're here. Take care of all those bad wear spots. Sort of a foregone conclusion with many of these movements. We have to check all that stuff out. Replace things and put new jewels in. Get your dial screws back in here. We don't have to worry about those later. All right, let's go ahead and get your calendar side totally disassembled and get your keyless works apart. The big washer screw. Advance wheel. So I need to get that screw back. I'm going to use that screw for later. When I put your jewels in, you need that screw. Particularly important on these 6117 and 6105 movements. You really have to be careful with putting the jeweling arbor or the jeweling reamer in from the right side, and you gotta have some guiding components. So we put components back on to get that process correctly done. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Keep building, unbuilding. All right, cannon pinion. There's your center wheel. Your minute Woo! Woohoo! There's some old sticky stuff. Okay, here we go. Let's finish this part off. Get your keyless works disassembled here. Just like so. Lever. There we go. Winding pinion. Take out your die shock. Goes in the cleaner. Alright, let's get that out. There we go. And there we go, down to where we should be. All right, so get everybody clean and we'll get to work.